Hello there, welcome to another interesting episode of the interview. I'm so delighted to have you join me today. Today, I'm so delighted to have Mary Ephraim-Egbas, who is an entrepreneur. She is a business consultant. She is also a business strategist. She is an empire builder and the CEO of Okma Consult, which is a consulting and marketing company. And we'll be having a very interesting conversation today. I'm so delighted to have you join me today. Mary, can you unmute yourself? Hi, Mary. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi, Seth. Oh, I'm so
All right.
sorry. I got
Yeah, good.
lost for a minute. I couldn't hear you.
No,
How are
no
you
worries.
doing?
I'm doing well. I'm so delighted to have you join me for this wonderful conversation today.
My, myself too. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the invite. I'm so excited to be here speaking with you. I see all the lovely work that you're doing. And, kudos to you. And thank you.
Thank you. I also see a lot of things that you do. You also do a lot of interviews on your platform, which is so great. And I really appreciate that. I follow that and I get a lot of value from that. I want us
Thank
to
you.
start this conversation by talking about your consult, Okma Consult. Tell us a little bit about your work at Okma Consult.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, Optimal Consult is our marketing. It's a marketing and consulting firm. It's Optima Consult started in 2010. We are focused on providing marketing, consulting for companies, for top businesses, who want to position themselves in the market, position the goods and products. We've been known especially for coming up with enriching ideas that have helped so many brands to position themselves in the market. Through these ideas, they've been able to scale their business, scale their products, reach the market, reach their clients, and also be able to raise and finances for their projects, etc. So that's really what we've done in the past. We've worked with top brands. We've worked with several brands. We're popularly known for our work with Carnival Calabar, and then we've also worked with top brands like Heineken, Coca-Cola, etc. Recently, we just added coaching to our portfolio, where we are focused on helping entrepreneurs with the experience that we have had through the years working with these brands that I just spoke about.
Hmm. Oh wow, wonderful! You do a great job. So usually, stories are very powerful. I am sure that I and also viewers will want to hear a little bit about the background story. How did you get here?
To be into business,
Yeah,
wow.
how did you get here with Okma Consult and business
Consultant.
entrepreneurship and everything?
Oh, it's interesting. I was in the corporate world. I worked in. I started my journey from oil and gas, but still in the PR sector. In fact, let me back up a bit. I started in broadcasting. Actually, I worked in my school days. I worked in a radio station. Then I moved up to TV. Then from TV, I then did my youth service in an oil and gas company. But I carried on my profession in the broadcasting world. I worked in a TV station, and then I went into working. I started working for a South African company that was into film distribution and basically the entertainment scene, cinemas, film distribution, music, etc. And that was where I developed my love and my skill for the film industry. And but whilst I was there, I honed my skill for marketing. In fact, that's where I really discovered that the aspect which I really loved was the marketing part, the strategy part of things, and then I continued in that space. So we do have a business in the film sector. It's called Homelands Films, where we provide film distribution across Africa, and we've been doing this for about 10 years now.
Hmm. Oh wow, that's quite interesting. Yeah, so I want us to talk a little bit. Stories are always powerful. It's always good to hear the background story, how you started, from the media as a journalist and all the things you did to get to this particular space. Uh, I want us to talk a little bit about business. By the way, where is your business located?
So we are headquarters in
Okay.
Lagos, Nigeria, basically.
Do you have any branches in any of the African countries?
No, but we have affiliates and partners that we work with.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So if somebody wants to connect with you, what's the best way to connect with you and work with you?
Sorry, say that again, please. I lost
What
this.
is the best way to for someone that is interested in the things you do and they want to connect with you? What's the best way to do that?
Okay. I'm sorry, the network, so I couldn't really hear you. But if I heard you properly, you said, "What would it take for someone to work with us, with my
Mm-hmm,
company?"
mm-hmm,
Okay, all right. So yeah, so we provide consulting. So companies work with us first by giving us a brief, telling us what it is that they want to achieve, or if they need us to come up with ideas, we come up with ideas, strategies. If we have to do research, we do those research. I mean, we do research for every work that we do because we have to develop the idea and ensure that when we implement it, it would perform. But recently, we also work yes.
Hello.
Are you still there? Okay.
Yeah, I lost you a little bit. Sorry.
Yes,
Could
I
you
think you
repeat?
did. Yeah. So I was saying that we recently also work with entrepreneurs, and we do that through one-on-one coaching. We also do that through group coaching. We have some programs that we have created to help smaller businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs who may not be able to afford the consulting aspect of things, but also want to reach the same goals.
Hmm. Wonderful. That's awesome. So talking about business and entrepreneurship, I want us to kind of talk a little bit about business and entrepreneurship, especially in Nigeria or Africa in general. What are the factors, or what are some factors for one to consider before starting a business, especially in Nigeria or in Africa at large?
So you said one of the no, the network was
Yeah, what are
what
some factors? Can you hear me now?
yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, what are some factors for someone to consider before starting a business in Nigeria or in Africa in general?
Well, uh, I guess if you consider too many factors, you may never just start to start a business, especially in Africa. But of course, I would say yes, do your market research, know what the market is looking for. What is it that you want to provide for your market or for the market? Um, it's not always necessarily that one person failed in providing what it is that you want to provide, so you would suddenly fail. But I mean, it would be useful to know why um, that failed, or you know, What were the things that made that idea fail. Typically, you find that you know wherever it's like wherever you see clustered fish, there's definitely food there. So wherever you see a lot of people kind of swimming to, that's probably what the market is looking for. But you can even in that, create your own differentiation and how you stand out by being unique, niching down to what exactly is your so everybody can be providing the same service, but you can be providing an aspect to it. So I would say if you want to start a business, and this applies really anywhere, you first of all have to listen to the market, know what it is that they need, or know what it is that you want to offer, what you're skilled for, what you have a passion for, or what you have an interest in, or you're skilled for. Then you want to check with the market and see what it is that they need, and then identify your own audience, because it's not everybody in the market that needs what you have. So you identify what it is that they need, and I think when you really look at the market, you'll be in a better place to actually start your business and really understand the risk involved, and what it is that you can do to mitigate on that risk.
Okay, that's awesome. Sorry, there seems to be some kind of noise coming from the background. It looks like someone is walking around. That is kind of interrupting a little bit. But
Yeah.
don't get
Mm,
distracted by that. I don't know whether
okay.
it's the earpiece or something. Anyway,
Maybe
yeah,
it
but
is.
yeah, but I can hear you. I can hear you. All right. It's
Can
quite
you hear me
interesting.
now?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. It's just that that noise can be a little bit distracting. So I thought if it's something you can fix, but if don't worry about it, I still can hear you.
No, but can you hear me now? Because
Yeah.
I
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
because I think it's a network.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, it's gone now.
Let me see if
I no, I
I
don't
can
hear the
try
noise
it.
right now.
You don't hear the voice now? It's okay now?
Yeah, it looks like, but don't worry about it, don't stress about it. Yeah, it's quite
Okay, great.
interesting that when you were talking about the factors to consider before starting a business, you didn't mention money, and that is typical of most entrepreneurs and business people. When you ask them about factors, they hardly talk about money as the number one factor. But for an average person that is thinking about starting a business, the first thing that usually comes to mind is, the money. Why do you think that is so? Is money an important factor to consider before starting a business?
Well, I mean, also it depends on what it is that what it is that you were providing. And the reason why I say that is because there are so many businesses that don't need money to start off. And maybe there are other businesses that need money to start off. But really and truly, any business that needs a lot of money for you to start up, you need to be highly skilled and maybe have proven that you can actually run a business successfully. You would rather go with a business that you can start without or with little or no money, and you can build something from that. And then when you have that wealth of experience in running a business and all that, then you can go for a business that probably needs you to start off with a lot of money. All right. So, example, if you're starting a business that needs you to purchase equipment, expensive equipment, all right, um, you will need to have proven that that you have you have the skill to A, run a business, A, B, run that type of business. All right. Get experts to work with you, but that would also cost you money. So that's why I didn't go with money as one of the things that you want to consider. Because I'm assuming that if you're a startup, if this is your first business, but of course, if it's your next business, you must have gathered information, knowledge, skill, and money to start the next one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so money is not always money is important. Financial capital is important, but it's not always the most important thing, right? The having the vision and other things come to play. Tell me a little bit. Still talking about money. Somebody listening to this may be wondering, what kinds of business can I actually start without having to serve, say, hundreds of thousands of naira before starting, given the Nigerian context. Hi, Mary. Are you with me? You seem to be a little bit frozen right now. Yeah, you're back. You're back. Can you hear me?
Hi, Seth, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear
We
me?
were trying to, yes, we were trying to get a better connection. All right, but
Okay.
I think this is much better now. Okay, I can hear you
Oh, oh,
now.
all right. Yeah. So I was just
Yes, I
the
can hear
question.
you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly. Are we good? Are we good?
Yes, good.
Okay. All right. So the question I asked was before the technical glitches. The question I asked was, still talking about money, right? Somebody listening to this podcast may be wondering, what are some businesses that one can actually start, especially given the Nigerian context or the African context, without having to save, say, hundreds of thousands before starting.
Well, I mean, you can start a service.
All right. Looks like we have lost Mary. I'm very sure she will be back with us. We've been having a very interesting conversation with Mary Ephraim-Egbas, who is the CEO of Okma Consult, which is a consulting and marketing company located in Lagos, Nigeria. Hi, Mary.
Yes, I'm sorry. This is one of the challenges of being in Africa.
I know. I know. Yeah.
The network is crazy,
Yeah,
but
don't
yes.
stress about it. I understand, understand. And you do a lot of this, and I know you
Yes,
encounter
and we
a
have
lot
to
of this
deal with
too.
this.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You were trying to respond to my
Yes. So
question. Yeah.
yeah, so I was saying that basically you I can't really say a specific. I wouldn't want to be specific because I don't really want to hold people back. There are definitely many opportunities to start any type of business without money. I think, like I said, the first thing is to identify what you're skilled at, what you know, what you have, in terms of what you want to achieve. And then when you do know what you have and what you're skilled in, and then what the market wants. When you identify what the market wants and you ask those questions, then you'd be able to clearly identify what's obviously required of you to start that business. So, I mean, I'll give an example. Like, if you want to start a restaurant, for instance, of course, you need money because you need to rent a space, you need to get kitchen in, etc. But you can actually start from your own kitchen and prove yourself and get and validate the fact that people love eating your food, example. So you can start really small. You can ditch the things that would require the capital expenses that would make your business heavy from the start in terms of financially heavy. So that's why I wouldn't want to say, oh, this type of business you may not be able to start. Of course, there are businesses that you can't start without money, but there are many, many, many ideas that you can actually start with nothing or with very little, and it can start from whatever it is that you have in your whether it's in your brain or whatever it is that you have around you. Okay. And of course, if your business also needs money, you can quickly raise that from also around you, family and friends, and But I would always recommend, if it's your first business, or if it's you're not vested in business, you would want to start with a business that you don't have to have a lot of money, because it has its own risk, and you would not have validated your ability and skill to actually run a business. Do that for a year or two. Make sure that you know what you're doing, in terms of have the experience of running a business. And then you can now start talking about bringing in people that have money, or much more money itself.
Hmm. That's powerful, because I think many times people think about people feel incapacitated or immobilized to start a business, because they are thinking about this ginormous idea, right? People want to start the next Facebook, they want
Yeah,
to start the next Google and the next Amazon, without realizing that most of these, Fortune 500 companies or what have you, actually started small. No
absolutely.
company started, big. Most
Yeah,
of these companies started by bootstrapping, and literally some of them started from their garage, and stories about that. But usually people don't care to know about the backstory. They just feel, well, look at Mary, look at all the things she's doing. I also want to be
oh,
a business consultant. I want to go to Lagos. I want to rent a house in Banana Island and all kinds of things, and just launch big, without knowing that people usually start small before getting to where they really want to get. And still talking about business, what are the keys to business success, in your opinion?
okay. So just as you were saying about what most people do, that is one of the reasons why we put together a it's kind of a training, not well, it's a training, it's a master plan training, but it is basically to help businesses to create their success blueprint. And the success blueprint really is, you have that massive dream ahead of you, all right, but you, like you said, you need to bootstrap to that ginormous dream. So we help you with your big idea. And through this master plan training, you get through the training, you get to create your master plan. All right. So how do I start from zero? What it is. So that is why we did that, to help entrepreneurs. Okay. Yes, I was saying, to help entrepreneurs to no longer stay stuck, but to come off that idea in your brain. You don't know how to bring it to life. We help you to put this down strategically and come up with a strategic plan to start your business up to the place that you want it to, and build it and grow it to where that you want it to be. So to answer your question, Keith, are you still there? Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, great. So to answer your question about how do you get business success, if I'm right, that was the question.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think business success is, first, you have to identify what success means to you. All right. Because I mean, success means a different thing to me. Success to Keith might mean having $1 billion in his account, but success to someone else might just mean, you know what, I want to have enough. I want to have my home, my family intact. I want to be able to be comfortable, travel wherever. So identify what success means first. All right. It's success doesn't mean everything to everybody, but I guess there is a general understanding of what success is. I would say success is you coming to your place of abundance. So identify your place of abundance. Where is that place of abundance? All right. For some people, place of abundance might
Yeah, we seem to be having some technical glitches there. I'm still with Mary. We are having a very wonderful conversation with Mary Ephraim-Egbas, who is the CEO of Okma Consult, which is a consulting and marketing company. We've been having some interesting conversation, but we at the same time are having some technical glitches. Mary will be back and I will continue with the conversation. Please don't go anywhere. Let's see, Mary is trying to reconnect. And we've been talking about entrepreneurship and business. I still have a couple of questions I want to ask Mary about. So let's see, as soon as I can get Mary back, looks like I can now. All right.
okay. Looks like I'm coming from. Okay.
Yeah,
Hi.
that's yeah.
Oh yes, again. Apologize for
No worries.
some
We,
hitches.
we we all understand there is nothing you can do about some of these things. Yeah, you were talking. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so what was I? I was talking about yes. So identify your success. What is your what is your place of abundance, and then map out the route. Your route to it. So I would say how the best way to get to no, let me not say it's the best, but business to get to business success or to have success in your life, it all starts with your ability to plan. You have to want it, and then you have to set that in motion. There's got to be movement. All right, there's got to be planning and there's got to be actions towards it. So there is nothing that you can achieve that you never really plan for it. Okay. Nobody gets into success that they just stumble into it. The only way people can stumble into money. When I say stumble into money, because there's so many ill ways of getting into it. So that's not success. That's not the abundance that you would hope for. So the abundance that you would hope for would come from a place of giving value to receive something in return. So I would say success, how to get success is to plan, is to plan for success, is to want it, know what it would look like, and plan for it.
Mm. So you said some profound things, and one of them is the fact that success is not the same for everyone, right? What success means to me may mean different things to you, but usually people get this confused. People think that there is like a blanket or a general understanding of success, and they try to measure themselves with other people, and that is why people become frustrated, because at the end of the day you have copycats, right? People are not unique to themselves and are not being true to themselves. They are just trying to be other people, and they end up being frustrated, and they feel this person is succeeding. Why am I not succeeding, right? And stuffs like that. So
Absolutely.
I really like the way you define it. That success, you have to define what success means for you. Let's talk about entrepreneurship. What do you think about entrepreneurship, and especially in Nigeria and Africa as a continent? Is entrepreneurship the definition of the future?
Absolutely. That was one of the reasons why my business pivoted into coaching and sort of added coaching to it, because we actually looked at it from an economic standpoint in terms of the future. Where is the future of our economy? where are we going to create much value and more impact. And then we looked at it and realized that 80% of businesses are small businesses, while 20% of the businesses are top businesses. So in that case, if there are top businesses, then sorry, if 80% of the businesses are small businesses, then that means that the entire space, the entire economic space is hinged on 20% or 80%. All right, if you know what I mean. Like, if 20% is doing better than 80%, then you're in trouble because the scale is tipped. So we realized that if this scale is tipped, and we have to do something about it. And right now, the scale is actually tipped because the big businesses are really the ones providing the employment, providing the resources, the finances, the community development, etc. And the weight is on them, right? So right now they constitute like 80% of the fund, the the economy right now. But 80% can actually do much better than 20%. All right. And the only way to do that is to make sure that the small businesses are growing. The small businesses are surviving. They're thriving, not just surviving. That they are actually scaling, that they're growing. And some of them can grow to become the bigger businesses and actually push the scale of bigger businesses to maybe 30% or 40% even. So that is key right now, especially in Africa, because smaller businesses everywhere in the world are known to push the economy. They are also known to provide a lot of employment. Um, 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 they're known to actually raise the economy and bring a lot of people out of poverty. And that's why we need the small businesses to thrive. And that was one of the, in fact, key reason why my business decided to not just service through consulting the bigger businesses, but to now start working with the smaller business to say, how can we ensure that small businesses thrive, grow, scale, and um, become everything that they have the potential to become.
Hmm. That's great. Small businesses. Were you in any way, referring, or in some of your explanations, were you in any way talking a little bit about the Pareto principle? If so, will you want to talk about
Sorry, I lost you there. What was I referring to?
the Pareto principle, right? The 80-20 rule principle. Are you with me?
Hello, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Are
Okay.
you hearing me? Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, so I was just asking whether you were referring to, the 80-20 principle. If so, will you want to clarify that a little bit when you were talking about small businesses?
The 80-20 principles of what? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, the Pareto principle, if you know about that.
Okay, I'm sorry. The somehow when you start to speak and then I didn't hear. Yeah, but basically, yes. I'm looking at the 80-20 principles. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. It's just the internet that is a
Oh,
little bit.
okay. Can you give us?
Can you hear me, Mary? Or so we seem to be having some connectivity problem right there. All
Okay.
right.
All right. I was
Yeah,
just trying to swap network. I can hear you better now.
yeah. So go ahead, please. Yeah.
Okay. No, you were saying the 80-20 principles.
Mhm.
I didn't hear
Yeah,
that quite clearly. So maybe you can
yeah.
repeat the question now.
No, I was just referring to the Pareto principle, the 80
Oh,
20 principle. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah,
How
because I
how
mean,
that applies to the issue of small businesses in Nigeria.
yes, absolutely, especially in Nigeria, and I would think across Africa as well. So if 80% of businesses, which are small businesses, entrepreneurs, startups, what have you, whatever, whichever name that you call it, but they need to thrive. They need to thrive. They need to grow. They need to maximize and become all that they can be. And the only way we can do that is obviously by ensuring that the environment, of course, the government have to do a lot more to ensure that small businesses thrive. And the main thing is for us all to have the understanding that of the key impact of small businesses in our economy today.
That's That's quite interesting. That is so powerful. So, in case you are a business owner, a small business owner, this is someone that that is the kind of work that Mary, her organization specializes in. They can train you, and with that vision that you have, whether it is so big or small, when you connect with Mary, that is basically what they do. They coach you, and one of the things they do actually, but they can coach you and help you to understand a path. And I think this kind of connects to the idea of mentorship. I think you may agree with me that one of the major reasons why a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, fail, not just in Nigeria, generally it is said that about 90% percent of all businesses fail die within 5 years. And I think
Mhm.
one of the major reasons is because of people neglect this idea of mentorship, right? People think there are all kinds of people that have wonderful and fascinating ideas. So it is not enough to have a very wonderful idea. Many people neglect this idea, this aspect of mentorship. They just feel if I have an idea, I will just go and start it. And before they know it, they are in deep waters. Then they realize that they needed to learn certain things. So I want you to talk a little bit about the importance of mentorship in business and entrepreneurship.
That is just, you're just hitting on the point. Just last week, the entire last week, on our sessions, we basically looked at mentorship as the advantage. Okay,
Mm,
why mentorship gives you the advantage in your business, and how mentorship can actually, sort of bring in something that you would spend 10 years to achieve. You can actually achieve this in about, what, 5 years or so. And this advantage that it gives you over time, it gives you advantage over time, over money, over literally, and over ideas, even over skill, right? Because if you are not highly skilled for something, but you get a mentor who can easily, collapse the time for you in terms of learning, and you're able to quickly acquire the skills that are required for what you want to do, then you get there in time. You can also, mentors are also connectors. They help you to ensure that they help to connect you in the industry, or in the industry that you are in. And you can, and these connections, of course, they're most times they're very needed, they're powerful, they are, and then they definitely help your business. So so yeah, so absolutely, mentorship is the advantage. I would tell you that anytime, T. I wish someone told me that the first day I started my business. I would have had 20 mentors lined up. But you use the word neglect. Yes, some people probably neglect it, but I think that a lot of it is misinformation, lack of education. Because
mm,
as much, and again, lack of education in knowing how to get a mentor. Now, when I started my business, I wanted a mentor. I was looking for mentors. I was looking for someone to mentor me. All right. But I didn't know how best to go about it to get the type, and even the type of mentors that I should get. I was looking for mentors that were way higher than me, didn't have my time, even though they cared to help, but they just didn't have the time because they were so far out. They were very they were far out in their own business. In terms of experience, they were much more experienced than I was. They were running bigger businesses, and so it took a lot of their time. Now, that could be a challenge by itself. You know, you need to find a mentor that can have your time, that is not too far disconnected from where you are, because then the person still, still has the empathy for the stresses and the things that you are having to deal with, and is not totally disconnected with the time that you are in. So these are all the things. Some people have the challenge of knowing how to, and that's why we took our time the whole of last week to talk about mentorship, why it's important, how you can get mentored, and then kind of guiding you through the entire mentorship deal.
And let me just reiterate that Mary is a mentor, and of course, she doesn't do this for free. If you want to be mentored, you have to be ready to spend some money. But actually, mentorship is that thing that is going to make you like what you will spend 10 years doing. Mentorship can make you do that in 6 months. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely. In 6 months, 3 years, 3 years, whatever time, but it will definitely give you an edge.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the last question I have for you is about entrepreneurship, the setbacks to entrepreneurship, especially in Nigeria. What are some of the major setbacks to entrepreneurship in Nigeria or in Africa in general?
Well, uh, lots of setbacks. Lots of setbacks in terms of structural um, policies. Some policies that, depending on your industry, might not be helpful. Sometimes there are multiple taxations. There are not enough reliefs to help the entrepreneur to grow. But I think my biggest thing would be there is enough empathy. When I say empathy, because if there is real understanding about struggles of an entrepreneur and the importance of making sure that entrepreneur actually thrives and grows and achieves, then there would be this connection in everybody trying or doing everything to make it work for that entrepreneur. So, or for the entrepreneur space. Now, so the setbacks I would say are generally those of structure. Um, in Africa, you have to literally do everything yourself. You're your own power, you're your own water, you're your own security. That by itself is that by itself is being an entrepreneur of an entrepreneur, because you have to power the engine that powers the work. So I think that would be the biggest challenge that any entrepreneur in Africa or in Nigeria would largely complain about, and because all that now sucks in your money, so it becomes a cycle of defeat almost, because you're making the money, but you're spending it where your counterpart in other parts of the world are not having to deal with that. And those kind of setbacks, apart from the money, the losses in terms of money, etc., and you also lose time.
Mhm.
Infrastructural problems like road issues, where you spend 4 hours, 5 hours on the road. How much is left in a day? All right, while your counterparts across the world are connecting from one place to the other easily. All right, and getting to where they need to get it faster. So it generally creates a bottleneck for the entrepreneur on this side. So that's just one example of an infrastructural problem that really plagues the entrepreneur. There are many more, but I don't want this to be a sad. I don't want this to be heavy on the negatives, but because there are many positives in in being an entrepreneur. But I think the joy of entrepreneurship really is is being able to surpass all these difficulties and still make a difference
Mm-hmm.
and be the difference actually.
That's true. That's true. What's your advice for young entrepreneurs? By
Okay,
young,
so
I mean, I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about people that are just starting out.
Asian business.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I would say it first, young, like you said, it doesn't matter your age. You can be an entrepreneur anytime.
Mhm.
In fact, you could have worked for 50 years and then, or 60 years, and then become an entrepreneur. In fact, you're better off being an entrepreneur at that age than even when you were younger. Not that I'm saying that that's the age to do it. I'm just saying that with 60 years of experience of life, life itself, and obviously wherever it is that you have been creating value, entrepreneurship is really your space. So if you're just coming into the world of entrepreneurship or you are just starting your business, don't be too hard on yourself. All right. Don't be hard on yourself. Understand that there is a lot to learn. There's a lot that you don't know yet, or there's a lot that you can learn. And get a mentor faster than I mean, it's really important. It's not about going to give somebody money. It's about, and mentorship is not only through paid mentorship, even though paid mentorship just gives you the freedom of getting exactly what you want, as to unpaid mentorship that can have its own challenges. But the issue here is get a mentor, get someone that can help you, hold your hand, someone, because the journey as a CEO, it can really be lonely. Get into communities. There's so many communities, whether on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Get into these communities that speak to, that either have people like yourself, whether women in business, whether whatever business that you are interested in. Get into several communities, hear from people, make friends, make connections, make new connections. So it's important for you to find that anchor. All right, find an anchor so that when the storms come, you are solid. You're immovable. All right, because that's actually the most important part. So get a mentor, get into a community, and you would be rock solid.
Get a mentor, get into a community, because entrepreneurship can be a very lonely journey. Thank you so much, Mary, for your time. I really appreciate your time despite all the technical glitches. We pulled through. So thank you once again.
Pull through.
Uh, so let me also say here that Mary gives a lot of content. She comes online a lot, and she talks about most of these things weekly on Tuesdays. Is it Tuesdays on Thursdays, or what are the
So
days?
we come online. The lunchtime. I host a
Mhm.
lunchtime live. It's 2 p.m. GMT plus one on my page every day. But we have a masterclass session every Tuesday and Thursdays
All right, so she does a lot of she does the lunchtime every day, Mondays to Friday, I suppose.
to Fridays. Yes,
All
not
right.
every day of the week, of the working week. Yes.
Yeah, of the working week, and you can get a lot of value from her, but most importantly you can connect with Mary, and if you have a business and you want to be mentored and you want to scale and what have you, this is someone that I will highly recommend. You can connect with her, follow her on her Facebook page and social media, and get value from her. Even if you don't have money to pay her to mentor you, you can get a lot of value from her. Once again, thank you so much, Mary, for making time to be part of
Thank
this
you.
interview. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate.
Seth. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Well done. It's a sacrificial work, and I really appreciate it.
I thank you so much for your kind words. Well, for viewers, this is all I have for tonight. Until I come your way next time with another interesting episode of the interview. Bye for now.
Bye.